Hello everyone, day 39, and I am smiling and outside, and it's not even 10 a.m. I am really feeling positive today, so that's why I'm vlogging early, and I found not one but two things. I found this whole bunch of cables here, as you can see, which is my social distancing mic from my iPhone. I found that bag in my purse, and alongside it, what do you know, I also found my selfie stick, which I'm on right now. So I am feeling good today. I realized after watching yesterday's vlog that I never even brushed my hair before I vlogged, which is fine, but not my best looking self, whatever. But I need to get out of that mode, and I'm actually done with all of my doctor's appointments for today, and I think it's not even 9, it's just about 9:45 a.m. on a Monday. So I'm stopping there, yes, owning it, time to flip the switch. The Monday before the Friday of my surgery, I wasn't sure how it would hit me. And I'm happy to say that it's hitting me in a very empowered way. So that's why I'm sharing with you today. Yeah. So I feel like I'm old Jen again. Not so much with the sisters down here, but that I got this. And there's a kind of a healing point as to why I broke out the mic and the tripod today, because I found them. I went to get my glasses adjusted, so now I can actually hopefully see correctly. So this is what they're supposed to look like. I put makeup on this morning. I dropped my son off at band camp. I think that's where it started. It felt normal. Even with the pandemic and stuff, I dropped him off at band camp, and he walked to the door, someone held the door open for him, and he's the lead snare for marching band, so he keeps time for all of them. And he's a senior this year, so this is the last first day of band camp for him that I'm going to be dropping him off. I mean, he drove, but I needed the car, so we had to switch out. But I was just so proud. It's just, things coming full circle. I can't get over that he's a senior and he's graduating. I don't even want to think about the graduation. I can't get over the fact that he's a senior. He's just such a good kid. Young adult, whatever. And seeing him walk into that room, and it's band is just his, his thing. It might not be his number one thing, but for me, that's how I associate his leadership. And I don't want to make this all about him, but that kind of turned stuff on me as to good job, Mom, that, I've supported him to do all these other things that he's done, and academically and whatever, and anyway, even learning how to drive, all of that stuff. And I give myself a lot of kudos for that as a parent, absolutely as a single parent. But I felt really happy about it. And then I drove to get my glasses adjusted, and I intentionally wore this shirt. If you recall my fashion show that kind of went wrong and was flagged on YouTube, as I knew it would be, but I only played 10 seconds of a copyrighted song. Yeah, it's from RuPaul. What's the name of the song? I can't even remember now. But whatever, you can watch it. But I felt so negative about the clothes in that episode of that day of my life. And last night I got 2 packages, and I vlogged actually after I got them, and I knew that one of them was the shower chair, which I talked about yesterday. But the other one I didn't open up until later on in the day. I had gotten another Amazon package, which I ordered, which had clothes in it. So I will do a very abbreviated, not right now, I will do an abbreviated new updated fashion show for you, just short, because it's all the clothes that do work. That's funny, because I did that to RuPaul's song, You Gotta Work It, Girl. Those were the songs, or the clothes that worked for me, girl. So I want to share that with you. And one of them, which I'd saved from before, which I showed you, was this shirt. So I'm kind of getting ready for the big day by taking ownership over what I do have control over. And part of that it was my glasses and making sure they're adjusted so I can see correctly. Part of that was like, having my hair looking decent so I can feel somewhat empowered. And wear my cross today. I got my Don't Mess With Me ring on. And then the clothes, this doesn't back up a ton. I can do that, I guess. It is a little low cut, but it's funny. It is low cut just because it's a larger size and it's like very, very roomy. And I thought, well, you know what, let me own the cleavage. But I did not want to wear an underwire. I actually instinctively opened up my underwire drawer and I'm like, no, I don't want to wear them. Even my pretty ones, I'm like, I don't want wires near them right now. I'm very protective of these. And as I get the new ones, I'll be even more protective of those. I feel like it's almost like a China doll where you have to just, you can look, but you can't touch. Even for me, I won't be able to, or don't think I'll want to touch in the beginning. And what's so interesting, so just backtracking for a second. So here's the shirt, the button down, easy in and out. It does have these little tie, pardon all the wires. It does have this little tie thing on the bottom here, to give it a little bit of kick. So I'll show you the other ones again tomorrow or whatever, certainly before Friday. Or I could show them to you after, it doesn't matter. But the clothes that came in that I liked, like one was camouflage. I got inspired, I guess, from the camouflage compression pants that I'd gotten. I don't usually wear camouflage, but it's a subtle camouflage. And weirdly, from the same company of another shirt that I didn't like. Sorry, it's loud this morning. A lot of trucks go down here. It's kind of an industrial park where I am, but anyway. So yeah, the camouflage, and I just felt like, it's time to get back to badass. I have to stop with the stupid processing of the color pink thing. These will be gone tomorrow. I'm having them taken off, and then I got a variety of Color Street nail strips from my friend Julie, which the color, again, I don't endorse anything, whatever, but they're super handy. They're just like stickers that you just put on, and they're like nail polish, and they last for at least 2 weeks, the ones that I've had. Definitely last more so than, in my experience, gel or regular nail polish. And they're easy because you don't have to mess up with, if you get a bubble or something, that doesn't happen. So I'll have the ability to put those on myself before surgery and just pick up some color, or pick out whichever color I want to. Yeah, all over the place. But the camouflage is like a greenish, brown, gray color. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this whole pink process. My phone case, I got a pink phone case a while ago because I have a larger iPhone just because it's easier to see. And it's hard to hold. You get this indentation in your pinky from holding the phone, even with a pop socket on the back. So I ordered a different cell phone case that was this smooth, texture-y pink. It just happened to be pink, but I liked how it felt. And the pink just got dirty pretty quickly. And this morning I'm like, you know what? I'm over the pink thing. I just am. So I went back and put my old case on. And my old case, which there's no way I can show you here, but is green. It's like a military. It's actually called a military green. But on the back, I do have a mandala pop socket to make it a bit more feminine, I guess. And I got the hardcore green case because I had gotten a new phone and I wanted to make sure it was taken care of. It wouldn't, get knocked around or whatever. So yeah, back to myself with the cell phone case, and then I'm like, other ways to get back to myself, the mic. So I found the mic and I'm like, I'll just put it on, have good audio quality for my vlog today. And then as I'm figuring it out, so those of you that don't know about how this whole thingy, my shirt's just loose, that's why it's hanging like this. And I have a wind guard on this or whatever they're called, so that way if it's windy, it picks up my voice still and not the wind. And I'm not going to take it off now, but I will kind of give you a close-up of how this works. So when I started the news, I started anchoring Bedford TV News in 2014? Yeah, like spring of 2014. And I had never done anything on air before, other than like filming myself with an old video camera, like a VHS back in the 90s, whatever. Anyway, so I didn't know how to use like clip-on mic. So the director of the station at the time showed me like how to put the mics on. They're much smaller than ones in the studio because you don't have to worry about wind. But there's a way to do it if I flip it this way. Like if you ever notice, professionally, you shouldn't see the other side of the wire when you do it. So there's a way to hook it around here, so that way, even if I were to pull down here on the wires, it won't pull on the, like right now I'm pulling on the wires, but you see it doesn't pull on the mic. And so that's one part. The other part is when you do have it clipped on, to clip it on the inside closer, on the inside here, that way the wire, like if you didn't clip it, you would see the wire like sticking out a little bit here. But if you turn it and clip it a little bit towards the inside like here, you won't see the wire. So, although I just shoved it out a little bit, and then you push it as far in as you can, which I can't do with one hand right now, but you get the idea. And that's how they do it on TV. So it just like, and then you loop it through your shirt, which it's been a very, very, very long time since I've taken a mic and gone through my shirt and picked it up the other way. And it's even more fun when you're wearing a dress, because you got to go like under the dress and straight through so that it comes up the other way. That way the wire's underneath my shirt and not just like hanging loose. Tricks of the trade, I guess. So it made me feel more like me. I'm like, that was me. I would do that every Monday. And then it was every Tuesday. And then it was through Zoom and, you know, whatever. And then hooked it up to the phone, because the other jack is just a thing that just hooks into your phone. And I'm like, how far I've come in life. And I just got proud of myself for like lots of things, you know, having the guts to go anchor news when I had no journalism broadcasting experience whatsoever. That turned into my talk show, Neighbors to Know, which I'm so proud of. And I feel like I don't talk about it enough, but it's funny because I don't do this as a plug for Neighbors to Know. But Neighbors to Know is a big part of me and like how I think and how I want the world to be. Yeah, I'm not going to get into super detail. You can find the page on Facebook and Instagram. I'm not really on Twitter too much, but all the videos are on YouTube. I don't have enough subscribers yet to have a / Neighbors to Know page, but you can find Neighbors to Know. There's a song apparently that's some explicit song that if you do look up Neighbors to Know on YouTube, it comes up with this like hot and steamy video. That's not mine. Mine has a little green logo with the people holding hands on the outside. A little bit different of a vibe. But I was just feeling proud of me. And just like little things, all the parts of my journey. And when I was talking about like China doll things, it's funny because I think other people compliment either how I look or how I am as a person more so than I compliment myself. And I've gotten so much better with that, with all the work I've done, you know, with personal development over the past few years. And I think that's important for anyone to get to a place of, that you're so proud of yourself for how much stuff, you know, you've been through or not, you know, just who you are as a person, you know, what things do you have that just make you happy and make, you know, the world a better place. And yeah, like I got a ton of stuff done last night, a lot. Like the will, I plowed all that stuff out, got it all written down. And I said to my son, I'm like, I'm not being morbid, it's just something you're supposed to do. But I'm like, you know, this one thing here, you know, this is what I want to, you know, you have a couple of exceptions for like important pieces to you that you know who you want them to go to. And it didn't make me sad at all. I weirdly too, I found out last night that I call him my uncle, but he's actually my father's cousin, passed away last night. And I'm like, another one? Seriously? Like, what the heck? He was doing okay. I know he had cancer. I mean, he's older. But I'm like, my other cousin died, not different sides of the family. My cousin that passes on my mom's side, my uncle was on my dad's side. But I'm like, I almost, in a weird way, like, I did cry. I wasn't super close with him. I did cry. Because his sister is my aunt that passed in October, who I was very, very close with. And the first thing I thought was like, well, now they're together, you know, brother and sister. That could either go really badly or they could be bickering in heaven. Who knows? But if, you know, if he was in pain, and just, you know, and his body just couldn't work for him that way anymore, like, I mean, I'm getting teary as I'm thinking about it, but there's almost like, you know, like you just want everyone to be at peace, living or not. And it wasn't expected. Like I said, he was undergoing cancer treatments, but it wasn't expected. Yeah, it's a lot. But the being proud part was, like, I had driven, when I moved to Massachusetts, before I resigned from teaching right before we moved. And when we moved to Massachusetts, I wasn't working for like 4 years. I was a stay-at-home mom. I'd gotten my gorgeous new car. I love that car. I'd gotten a new car, it was new. I think it was owned by the manager of the dealership for a short time. But it was pretty new and had every bell and whistle you could possibly think of. It was a super badass car. I drove it to Florida with my kids 3 times, 3 years in a row. I went with the kids twice. Because the third time I went down was when my favorite aunt, her husband had passed away and she doesn't fly and she needed a ride back, and I said I would drive her back. That was my Thelma and Louise trip. Me and my great aunt, or whatever her title is, second cousin once removed, whatever. But I drove that car down to Florida, and I in my other trips with my kids, I'd put together like a family reunion of all these family members from my dad's side of the family. And there's a whole bunch of us that got together, including my aunt that passed in October and my uncle that passed Saturday. Like, I saw all of them. I saw people I hadn't seen in a really, really long time. And then, like, I went to Germany 4 years ago or so, and saw my mom's side of the family, and my dad's too. But people, I haven't seen most of them in a really long time, some since I was like 13. So I think of all that and like all the things I've done that are like, you know, it's a lot to take your kids, drive down the country to Florida with just me and my kids. I was married then, that was before my divorce, but and then I went to Germany on my own. I'm not a big traveler on my own, certainly not like overseas. I hadn't been overseas since I was 14. And to do that with my kids was just, you know, crazy. And my kids got to meet family that they had never met before. And I'm just so blessed that I had the opportunity to do that. And I had the balls to actually do it, because that's a big thing for people to do. Was it frightening at times? Sure. I want to thank the inventors of Pokemon Go, because honestly, that's how I navigated in Germany. Was all the tourist attractions were Pokemon Go stops. And I'm like, I can't figure out how to get to A, B, and C. And my son was playing Pokemon Go on his phone, and he's like, well, there's a stop right there. And I'm like, that's where we're supposed to be. And my cousin was making fun because we were looking for the TV tower. There's a truck coming. There's a truck coming, but you should still be able to hear me. We were looking for the TV tower, the Fanzan tour, and I couldn't find it. And my cousin's poking fun of me. While the truck leaves, saying that it's literally the tallest building in the European Union. So it's like, how can you not find it? And it turned out it was just on the opposite side. Come on, move along. I have to find quieter spaces to vlog. Yeah, so I turned around and it was behind, there was some building blocking me, that's why I couldn't see it. But the point is, like, I had that experience with my kids, which was just amazing. And I'm just proud of myself for all those things. And you know, going into Friday, I'm feeling empowered. And originally I had set up all these phone calls with people to become empowered, and a lot of them fell through for a variety of reasons. And I'm like, well, how am I going to be empowered for Friday? And then I realized that no matter what someone else says, it might be so helpful. The empowerment has to come from you. And these things that pop up, like band camp and getting my glasses adjusted and realizing it's 9:45 and all my doctor's appointments are done, that's so empowering. So it comes from me, and your own empowerment will come from you. And then last night, so the Target thing. Did I already say that? I opened oh my God, it's so loud here. Sorry. I had opened the shower chair, and then I'd gotten a package from Target that I didn't open, and I thought it was from one of my friends who mentioned something about watching my vlog about the clothes. Somebody told me about something about, why don't you just run to Target? And I'm like, I don't have time to run to Target. I literally have 8 doctor's appointments in the next 4 days. I don't have time to run to Target. So I have my guess, well, I have one other guess as to who it's from, I don't know. Somebody sent me a package from Target with a whole bunch of clothes in it. And I'm like, I have no idea who it was. Part of me is dying to know because I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And part of me just thinks that, like, it's someone that I know because they have my address. I have no idea who it's from. Actually, the friend I think it's from, I know it's not from her. Because my name was spelled with 1 N, and she knows that I spell my name with 2 N's. So which makes me even more intrigued as to who sent it. But there was shirts, and I'll show you, I'll try them all on for you like tomorrow or something. But there were shirts, there was pajamas, and they all fit like really well. So I got my clothes, and it all came together. And it's getting really hot outside, so I want to polish up. But so last night also what I did, I want that little kid not to be talking right now. Also last night what I did, besides the will, I went through my all my appointments for this week, wrote them all on a piece of paper, and then made sure that they were all in my Google Calendar with all the information as to where I'm supposed to go, how early I'm supposed to get there, what I'm supposed to do beforehand, and that kind of stuff for all those appointments. So I wrote them down. I think on Wednesday I have 3 doctor's appointments. Crazy. But they're all done by like pretty much the early afternoon, so I can do work in the afternoon, and I'll figure it out. I mean, even that looks overwhelming and looked overwhelming, but today, as for a Monday before the Friday of the big day, it does not feel overwhelming to me. Like, I got this. I can do this. Totally can do this. Totally can do this. And the China doll thing, on my way home from the eye doctor, getting my glasses adjusted, I tend to date a lot of musicians. I don't know why. I judge them based on what instruments they play. It says a lot about their personalities. But anyway, I was listening to audio that popped up on when I turned my car on, and I was listening to audio from one of the practice sessions of someone that I dated, and it made me think, because I remember that he would take such flattering pictures of me sometimes, and it was almost like when I saw the pictures, I didn't see them as me. Like, the pictures came out so well. Sometimes they were filtered a little bit just to, make cool, like, artsy kind of pictures. But I would look at them like, well, that's not really me. when it was really me. And I think he saw more in me that I know that he saw more in me than I saw with myself at the time. And not the headspace I'm in anymore at all. But when I say the China doll thing, I am protective of my boobs now to the point that I don't want to wear underwires. Not to the point that I can't like lift heavy things now, because I can. Might as well pack it in before I can't. I took the garbage out today. Woohoo! That was my heavy lifting. Yeah, you won't be able to take your own garbage out when you have this done, by the way, because you're only supposed to carry things that are less than like a liter or a gallon of milk, and my garbage usually weighs more than a gallon of milk. Wah, I can't take the garbage out anymore. The China doll thing, yeah. So I remember thinking, like, you know, when you think about Barbie dolls, I would consider myself to be like the Barbie doll who's like got the practical clothes on. You know, not the ones with the stilettos. And even though I do own a pair of stilettos, whatever, I always saw myself as the Barbie doll who is like, yeah, the practical one, the reasonable one. The one with the brown hair, not the pretty one with the blonde hair and the blue eyes and the super, you know, I mean, I guess they're all skinny, whatever. But then I got a Barbie doll as a gift that was like this really gorgeous decked out Barbie doll. I think it was like a Christmas edition or something. As an adult, I got this as a gift. Because I didn't have a lot of fancy Barbies. I had a lot of Barbies when I was little, but not a lot of like fancy Barbies at all. And I got it as a gift, and I kept thinking like, and it came with a stand. And I'm like, well, I don't want to have a doll that I'm just supposed to put on a stand. And it was so pretty that I didn't want to play with it because I didn't want to mess it up. Or maybe it wasn't a Christmas one, actually. It had a white shawl around it, weirdly with a pink dress. That's so funny. With a pink dress with pearls. I can't stand pearls. I just don't like how they look, but with pearls. And her hair was all done up like in a, you know, an updo and stuff, and it came with a stand. And I'm like, well, a doll that pretty belongs on a stand. Doesn't belong to be played with. It belongs on a stand. And I feel like that as I'm going into this surgery, where I was the practical Barbie, and now I'm going to have these new boobs coming out of it that are things I'm not going to want to touch. Kind of like I should be on a stand until I'm comfortable enough being off of it, which I used to view as limiting, because if you're on a stand, you can't move around. But now I view it very differently, which is funny how things come full circle when you do the work to like just be introspective. I look at the Barbies on the stand now in relation to me as I'm on a stand. I don't have to hold myself up. The stand is there to do that. And I can wear my fancy shoes, and I can have my fancy dress, you know, whatever. Like, I'm pretty sure this shirt is hand wash only, which I don't tend to do because I just want to like wash and go. But you're on the stand, so you don't have to hold yourself up. And people can look at you and like wonder and make up their imaginary stories about you, whatever. But deep down you know that you're beautiful, inside and out, even though I think Barbies are hollow. I don't really know, but I'm not hollow. And their boobs are so perfect. And as much as, yes, I'm having surgery, yes, they're removing the old, yes, take the cancer out, please. But when I'm done, it's like I get to be that Barbie on the stand. I don't know if I'll buy a pink dress. I don't want to buy pearls, but I could if I wanted, but I don't want to. And my boobs will be perky. They'll be scarred in the beginning. I don't know what they'll look like when they're done, but they will be a better version of what I have now. Kind of like the Barbies. You know, I loved my Barbies as a kid. They weren't all the fancy schmancy kind. And maybe I've done enough work with myself over all of these 49 years that I finally get to be the Barbie that goes on the stand, knowing that, I mean, I think I'm pretty. I don't usually wear my glasses, but even with that, my glasses match my shirt, you know? I'm coordinated. you know, the pretty Barbie on the stand who doesn't need to hold herself up because she's got someone or something to do that for her. And she's got these perky boobs. And I'll have my perky boobs. And I don't even think Barbie has nipples. I never noticed. I would guess she probably does not. But I get to get new nipples. And I get to get tattooed areolas. Screw you, Barbie. I get to be Barbie 2.0. Woo-hoo! Not only on the stand, but like with tattooed areolas. Take that, Mattel. That's so funny. Because when you first had the surgery, like, you won't have nipples. I don't think. I mean, you won't have areolas. I won't have areolas because they can't spare my nipples. I don't know when they do the nipple part, and I didn't ask my plastic surgeon, but that all in his hand. But I always thought it looked so alien when I saw pictures of the after pictures after surgery, but before nipples and areola tattooing. And I thought they looked so alien-like. But now as I'm thinking about it, they look Barbie-like. And I'm so glad I see that now. How half glass, I always say it backwards, how glass half full am I being right now? They're not alien boobs, they're Barbie boobs. They're Barbie boobs. And even Barbie boobs probably have some markings on them somewhere because of the plastic mold they have to put her in to make her. So yeah, I'll have my plastic Barbie boobs. I'm a Barbie girl. Maybe that should be my new mantra song. And I'll just, yeah, I'll be like badass Barbie with my camouflage shirt after and my tattooed areolas at some point. Yeah. So I am just owning this, and I this is one of my favorite vlogs today. 39. I don't even like odd numbers. And I'm getting a little teary just because it's all coming around, like it's happening in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Friday morning I have to be there at 6:15. But I'm not sad. I'm proud and I'm ready. And yeah, I got this. I got this. So I will do my gratitude today because I know I've been forgetting a lot. What I'm grateful for, I am grateful for the experience of me being discovered to anchor Bedford TV News. I know I've been kind of like quiet about who exactly I am. I've never said my last name on these things, but there's always been like a sense of fear kind of thing. There's a lot of ways to link me together. I anchored Bedford TV News for 6.5 years. And I hosted a Gen Night. You can Google that too. I hosted a Gen Night. No, that's not my last name anymore. I hosted a Gen Night. There were 52 Jennifers that lived in my town, and I said, let's get us all together. I wasn't working at the time. And that Gen Night led to me being asked to be on, or to anchor Bedford TV News. And that experience led me to start my talk show. Well, that and Landmark, I have to thank very much so. And that gave me the guts to be able to do this kind of vlogging. And this, I'm hoping, makes such a huge impact for anyone who's watching, whether you're going through cancer or just watching just for the heck of it, or know someone who's dealing with all this stuff, whatever. For me, it's incredibly therapeutic. This was the best meditation I could have done for today. I'm so at peace right now. I'll be shallow and say I'm grateful that I'm pretty. If you saw pictures of me like in 6th grade, you'd be like, oh, that was her. But yeah, I've blossomed. I was kind of a late bloomer, and I have blossomed. Yeah, not all parts of me are perfect, whatever. My lips right now are so raw, actually. I've been wearing masks so much, and I switched to a different brand of mask, and it's not working. My lips feel like they hurt just from talking with a mask on so much, but I know I need to do that. Like, I have to wear the mask, there's no question. And the last thing I'll say, and the most important, is, or not necessarily the most important, but huge, huge, huge gratitude for the people that have been in my life and that are still in my life, and some that aren't in my life anymore, that have helped me to see and to grow and to help me love myself again after some tough times for me, have been there to support me, saw things in myself that I didn't see and I wasn't ready to see, and I see now. And I wouldn't have had that seed in my head about who I am as a person if those other people didn't tell me first what they thought of me. In positive and negative ways. I make much more conscious efforts to not keep my resting bitch face. And when someone called me Delwood because I was too pale, I'm like, you know what? I am pale. Well, actually, right now, I'm like the most tan I've ever been. I'm in the sun right now. But you know what? I don't need to get skin cancer, and I don't really care if you think I'm pale. So is Barbie. Oh, this is awesome. I'm so grateful for those people. So to those people, I say thank you, and I love you, and keep being you. All right, time to get a work day in. Goodbye, everyone.